What do you need to know right now, especially when it comes to the actual month of June 2022? This horoscope tarot card reading is going to be for all 12 signs of zodiac, and of course, as usual, it's going to be individually time-stamped. So what do you need to be aware of when it comes to the actual month of June 2022? I'm going to start with my gorgeous Aries. Aries, you need to understand that when it comes to the month of June, it is a very, very important decision that you are going to need to make. And this decision is so much to do with what you should be doing right now when it comes to the next steps of your life, but in particular when it comes to your development. So my gorgeous Aries, this is something really important that you need to focus on and that you need to realize at the same time. It's an important message. This is an important message for you. But at the same time, my gorgeous Aries, this, you know, at around the 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th of June 2022, you will know exactly what am I talking about, because you're going to come across the situation which is going to make you think, it is going to make you wonder, and then you're going to be left with a certain options, and these are this is the outcome that you should be kind of like aiming towards. So it's about your own development. You will know after this moment in time exactly what do you need to do and exactly which direction do you need to take. Just remember, it's to do with your next step. It's to do with your development. Whatever you're doing in this life right now, this in itself is going to help you so much. Not only that this big decision that you're going to need to make, you know, it's going to be a huge massive step in the right direction, but at the same time it's just going to reflect on your unhappiness. It's going to reflect on you kind of like not torturing yourself, but you're blaming yourself why you didn't kind of do certain things, why you didn't kind of do certain things like before, or like why didn't you act in a different way. You know, something is constantly going to be bringing you back to your past. Within the last few years there was a lot that happened, but then again at the same time within the last few years there was a lot that it didn't happen as well. So this is why this is an important moment when it comes to your own progress, because it's going to help you with every single part of your life. But most importantly, you just felt so incomplete, and you felt like for way too long like your hands are like this at the back, so you felt like completely restrained. So this is also going to help you like kind of to set yourself free after this moment in time. You know, spiritually you're going to be able to move like in all sorts of directions that you weren't able to move before. So it is the blockage that you need to get rid of, but at the same time, you know, you are going to realize and you are going to become aware of, you know, the fact how powerful you are, how strong you are, and that even sometimes when things seem completely kind of uncertain, you should always 100% follow your intuition, because at this moment in time, you know, this is the way, the right way for you to become free, to become much more optimistic, because by the time the actual June comes to an end, you know, it is going to bring you one of the biggest progresses of your lives, my gorgeous Aries. And it's not even going to seem like that, but you know, something is going to take place for an additional 2 months after this moment in time. So at around, you know, it's going to be 7th and 8th, it's going to be like the actual July, and then August, and then September 2022. This is the time when you're gonna see so much progress, my gorgeous Aries. This is important, and it's telling you also the actual time span, because you are also at the same time, there is a very interesting opportunity that you are going to have. Just remember, an interesting opportunity that you are going to have by the end of the actual month. This is all going to be connected, one thing after another, but where you're going to be able to see the direct results of this particular opportunity, it's going to be September 2022. And this is telling you so much when it comes to the actual timing. So it is rather important indeed. So the bottom line is, do whatever you want to do whatever you feel like doing, my gorgeous Aries. It is important to 1,000,000% just follow that light within throughout the month of June 2022. Okay, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Taurus. My beautiful Taurinis, like what I want to say to you you. It's just like you are reaching a very interesting stage of your life, and especially when it comes to the actual 17th of June, this is going to become quite obvious, because at around the 17th of June you're going to like kind of like, oh my, 17th of June and then the 27th of June again. These two stages are going to be like, oh my lord, like a big mama, rather important stages, because you are kind of going to feel really deep, but this deepness is going to take you wherever you need to be taken at this moment in time, because your own reflection is needed. There is so much that you're going to understand internally, things that like you couldn't kind of understand before, the things that happened to you before, the things that you acted in a certain way on certain things, you know, at around the last couple of years. You know, there is a lot going to be kind of like obvious to you, and this is a very beautiful sign of your own spiritual maturity as well. It means that you have been through quite a lot. So now after this moment in time, and it is the beginning of June, so you know, from the actual June onwards, now we have a different energy which is going to be taking us and guiding us right until the end of this year 2022. So we are slowly kind of entering the second cycle of this year, so this couldn't have happened at a better time. So what's going to happen within these 2 days? It's not only about these 2 days, but it's not only about these 2 dates or these 2 days, but these 2 days are going to play an important role when it comes to you really kind of realizing exactly the same thing, kind of like about yourself, that there is the necessary experience that you have. This necessary experience, now it's time for you to take it on the next level. So you're going to be thinking about that quite a lot, but then again on these 2 days this is going to be highlighted like there is no tomorrow. You are going to be able to do something so much quicker, do something so much sooner, something that was on your mind for a while, and it is the part of your, like, you know, kind of like a near immediate future, but it's also kind of quite a lot connected to the things that you have been doing and the things that you were trying to achieve in the past, the things that you were like kind of focusing on in the past and things like that. So it's all going to be like kind of brilliantly connected. So you're going to understand, you need to understand from the beginning of June really that you have got absolutely all what it takes. You have got all what it takes. So it's to do with you slowing yourself, my gorgeous Taurini, slowing yourself, preventing yourself to move on because you think that you don't have the necessary knowledge. But this is the surprise that you are going to have, because the situation that you're going to be facing, you know, this month of June, you know, it's also going to open your eyes, but it's going to kind of make you feel really powerful deep inside. On one hand, you're going to realize how powerful you are and how strong you are only when you 100% follow your intuition, but on another hand, it's going to bring you a whole new sense of direction. This is brilliant, you know, because it's gonna basically, what you're gonna do is like all about having an absolutely mind-blowing plan. Within the last 11 days of June, you are going to have an absolutely mind-blowing plan. Pay attention to what this plan is, because this plan is going to start changing so much in your life just while you're thinking about it, just while you're focus on it. You are going to have a very strong energy and vibration to take this on the next level with your mind, with your energy, with your power, let alone everything else. So pay attention to the plan that is going to be on your mind so much over the last 11 days, my gorgeous Taurinis. This plan is like, I don't know even how to explain this to you. So you need to be as optimistic as you can, because the power of your subconscious mind is going to be like a big mama. It's going to take over. So you don't want to be low. You don't want to be down. You want to be up, and you just want to keep on planning and keep on planning and keep on planning, because I'm going to tell you something. This plan, you will see there is a lot, the vibration is going to pick up within the last 11 days, so you will be able to recognize this coming up. But I'm just telling you that these plans, it's not only about, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. This is going to feel differently. This is the time of your reawakening, and it's the reason why it's going to feel differently. It's because you are already manifesting things, and if you are going as you are going along. So my gorgeous Taurinis, make the most of it, because this is going to bring you one of the greatest accomplishments of your life. And by the time you get to November 2022, you will see how different your life is going to be after that moment in time. At that moment in time, you will see your life is going to be completely different, but it's some kind of like a really remarkable new beginning. It's actually going to start here. This is absolutely brilliant months for you, my gorgeous Taurinis, indeed. And also a little surprise from someone. Someone is going to surprise this month. Somebody who means to you so much, somebody who you really like, somebody who you really love, somebody who means to you a lot. You know, it's going to surprise you. And this in itself is going to be really good surprise as well. Okay, so now the next sign sorry, that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Gemini, my beautiful Geminini. This is for the month of June 2022. I like this so much because this annoying big fat mama like burden, it's coming to an end. Very annoying, very annoying burden, very annoying problem, very annoying sadness. It's coming to an end. Something you had to deal with for the last 10 months, like very strongly, precisely for the last 10 months. You know, things were like all over the place, up and down, down and up and down. But emotionally, you were challenged so much by the people in your life, especially. And I've mentioned this before, that now it's time, and it's more important than ever, to try to connect and reconnect with the people who mean to you so much, because I'm keep on seeing this, my gorgeous Gemini, and it's important. You either have fallen out with someone like a big time, like you had an argument, oh no baby no, or maybe you just had like some kind of misunderstanding with someone, like a big time. But that person is not horrible, that person is not bad, that person is in your life, that person is directly connected to you. So you need to kind of see who this is. And sometimes, you know, in this life, people just kind of go through a lot, have a very difficult time themselves, and they sadly take things on people who are the closest to them, or who means to them the most, indeed. And this is something that happened in between you and that other person. And I'm strongly recommending that you have to, above all costs, you know, you need to reconnect with this particular person, because this person is not bad. And you reconnecting with that person, my gorgeous Gemini, I can't even explain you the importance of it. There's so many things and so many reasons attached to it, like karmically, that you have to do it. You are gonna thank me so much later for this, my gorgeous Gemini. And even if you're not aware of like, who is this person, who am I talking about, oh my god, you're gone completely somewhere, blah blah blah, you know, like Honolulu, you know, who are you talking about? You know, it is basically, it could also be somebody whom you kind of lost touch with, and somebody who's maybe sad and suffering because of that, and somebody who's way more sad because of you kind of not on the same level where you were before. You know, maybe somebody's so much more affected by just something little that happened in between you. So that in itself is going to be quite obvious in terms of the adjustment. You will know when you need to make this particular adjustment. So please try to see who is this, my gorgeous Gemini. It is just so important indeed. But going back plop to the last 10 months, you know, the huge massive burden is coming to an end. Okay, and this is for some reason connected, this misunderstanding in between you and somebody else. So you need to see this, who this is. And even if you don't know who this is now, you need to try to kind of establish who this person is. It is very important now more than ever. And also on another hand, when it comes to that burden, you know, this is so brilliant, because that burden was affecting you for seeing you had a lot to deal with, lots of problems, a lot of negativity, and this affected your happiness, your optimism and things like that. But now this burden slowly coming to an end. It's wonderful, because you are going to be able to see what you need to see, because that burden was affecting you in such a way where you couldn't even see right in front of you. And this is basically, this happens when we have so much like of the negative energy around us and so much to deal with, and then you know, our own path in front is like kind of rather murky, because we are just like kind of like stuck in a bit of a limbo of the negativity and the dark energy that we have to deal with at the time, and it's sucking the life out of us when it comes to our spirit, when it comes to our soul. So this moment will be really, really big for you, because you are my gorgeous Gemini, and you don't like to be affected when it comes to like things like that, when something stands in between you and your future and your planning and things like that. But sometimes karmically you just have to go one step at a time, and this is exactly what is happening. This is so brilliant, and purely because that burden is coming to an end, you it's not only about like a really wonderful energy, and especially after the 10th and the 11th of June. This is like a big mama moment. After the 10th and the 11th of June, you're just gonna feel like, ooh, the energy is just gonna be much lighter, much brighter. Suddenly you're gonna have this burst of inspiration. Follow it. It is very important indeed, and it's also so much that you're gonna be able to connect and reconnect after that moment in time. Pay attention to the actual inspiration, and pay attention to the inspiration which is just gonna arise at around the mid-month of June. And by the time the last part of June happens, you know, the last 17 days, within the last 17 days of June, it's all about the inspiration, and also which is going to lead towards an absolutely mind-blowing opportunity, the opportunity of your lifetime. It's not going to seem as such to start with, but it's going to grow into something absolutely enormous. So the last 17 days are also going to bring you this absolutely mind-blowing inspiration. Follow it, my gorgeous Gemini. Follow it, please, because this inspiration is going to turn into something absolutely mind-blowing, something absolutely huge, something so powerful. It's going to make you so much more powerful than you could possibly imagine. You know, my gorgeous Gemini, this is very, very important. Follow that inspiration, because that inspiration is going to turn into an opportunity, and that opportunity is going to blow up in December 2022. The actual December 2022, it's going to be completely different because everything that's happening this month. So that's why you need to make the most of it. Sometimes you just need to test the water a little bit, and sometimes you just need to jump in the water in order to learn how to swim. If you don't jump in the water, you're never going to learn how to swim. So now, my gorgeous Gemini, jump, please. It's time. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Cancer, my beautiful Cancerinich. You know what? It's like, oh my God, yes, there is going to be a bit of like a completely unexpected situation, which is going to be kind of mind-blowing moment in time indeed. Something is going to happen this month, and it's going to surprise you like there is no tomorrow. It's going to make you just like a little bit worried. It's going to like kind of put you in the situation like, oh my God, you're going to feel like you're back in this negative limbo, and you're not gonna like this whatsoever. So it's to do with like a little bit of a tower situation, but please don't hate me, don't think I'm horrible, because this tower situation is actually yet again going to work really well for you. It is going to shake things up, you know, it is going to kind of really open your eyes, and it is going to make you think. And once you start thinking, there is never ever going to be way back anymore. Even if you wanted to find your way back towards that tower situation that is going to happen, like to have it how things were beforehand, you would not want that whatsoever, because there is something really interesting that you are going to discover, something really interesting that you are going to find out, something really interesting that you are going to become aware of, and that in itself is going to work really beautifully for you. So this tower situation, which is going to happen this month, which is going to be like, oh my God, no, it's going to be a little bit scary to start with, but then you will see it's not going to be that long after that moment in time when you realize that this tower situation, so this unexpected situation that really kind of threw you out of balance a little bit, was the best, because on one hand this energy and vibration is so needed and it's so necessary in your life at this moment in time. Certain things happen when they're meant to happen, most importantly, but this in itself is going to be an absolutely giant moment when it comes to you realizing things for what they are. And also you're going to realize something so interesting about someone so beautiful in your life as well. You will know kind of who's on your side, and you will know kind of who's not on your side. You're going to become aware of your own intelligence, and that intelligence is also going to kind of like really, just your own intelligence, it's going to make you aware of two paths ahead. Please, this is very important for you to understand, my gorgeous Cancerinis. You will be facing two paths ahead by the end of the month, and it's going to seem that they're both going to be really good, they're both going to be so delicious, and it's going to seem like you need to choose one. No baby, no, you stick to both paths. You need to do this. And I know, you know what's even weirder, that the more you take on, the more your responsibility you take on this month, the more you're going to get out of it. The more responsibility you take on, the more sacred outcome you're going to have. The more your responsibilities and the more things you take on throughout the actual month of June, like more you're going to get out of it. I don't even know how to explain this, but it's to do with like your own responsibility, but it's also to do with manipulating the energy in such a way where you kind of find out so much about yourself. You find out so much about your strengths, and you find out so much about like the actual certain realizations in terms of the actual ideas and desires, because those two paths, especially, just remember, you will find yourself being really indecisive this month. You will, oh gosh, you will know this, trust me. And these two paths that I'm talking about, you need to do them both. You need to take them both, because they're part of one another. They will very soon join to one another. You will see what I mean. And even more so when they join these two paths that I'm talking about, it's got even more brilliant thing is going to happen. There are certain desires that you're going to become aware of almost immediately by the end of the month, and these desires are things that are so important in your life, and they're missing, and you should be really at this moment in time, at this stage, you should be thinking about them so much. You know, for the first time in a long time, my gorgeous Cancerini, this month is going to bring you a control, like, oh my God, control over your life. I'm not saying that you didn't have a control before, but it's just so much, it's going to start making sense, you know, and that is going to give you confidence, that is going to give you courage, that is going to inspire you, that is going to make you feel so good about yourself. I mean, I'm talking about the optimistic energy that is at the same time going to be a guiding light. Very important months for you, my gorgeous Cancerini, indeed. The next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Leo. My beautiful Leonis, like, oh my goodness, you know, it is just like fantastic inspiration you're going to have this month. And the inspiration that I'm talking about, they're going to be on 3 different days. You are going to have the 7th of June, you're going to have the 17th of June, and you're going to have the 27th of June. These 3 days are absolutely remarkably important when it comes to that inspiration, because this is not just any inspiration. All these 3 days are going to be completely different, but it's going to kind of boil down, and it's going to lead down towards this particular inspiration that I'm talking about. This inspiration is just still going to require from you to fully come out of yourself and make the necessary step forward. The necessary step forward is going to scare you a little bit, because you just don't think that you are ready. You just don't think it's time. But then again, something is going to be guiding you, something is going to be pushing you, something is going to be like kind of pushing you forwards, you know, and that is the power, that is the passion that I'm talking about, my gorgeous Leone, because what is actually going to happen, you are going to realize suddenly, like, oh my God, like, you have got the key. All along you had this key to unlock one of the most interesting doors of your life. This particular spiritual key means that you fully understand and fully understand like the complexity of the situation, like that you left behind, and something that you kind of couldn't understand, but now that is just going to come out in its own light, and it's yet again going to confirm to you that you are on the right path. My gorgeous Leone, this is mind-blowing month, because you are, it's not only about the inspiration, but that inspiration is something that you must not ignore, my gorgeous Leone, at all costs, because this in itself is going to unlock very special door for you, very unique door for you. You are beautiful people, you are very hardworking, you're very kind of motivated, you're very powerful, but sometimes you can just slow yourself down a little bit, you know, and this is the time when you just need to kind of really just go forward as much as you possibly can. So it's not only about this inspiration that you are going to have. This inspiration is just like so much connected to who you are. It's so much connected to your calling. It's so much connected to your inspiration. So this is going to feel different. And let alone the moment in time when you realize, like, oh my God, that this is going to change your life like so much, because I'm telling you that there is something so huge, so enormous that you are going to unlock with this. You are about to unlock the mind-blowing door. You are about to unlock the magical door, and this is going to happen before the end of June 2022. So that inspiration, you don't need to do much, but you just need to come to terms with it, and you just need to kind of see what this is and kind of start thinking about it, start planning how you're going to do this, how you're going to make this happen. And these are the beginning stages, because at the same time you're going to get things going with your mind, and with the power of your thinking, with your energy, you're already going to skip like about 7 steps ahead. ahead. So this is why this is so important, to just keep on being optimistic and to just keep on being open-minded when it comes to things like that, my gorgeous Leonis, because it's to do with your calling. It's to do with your passion, it's to do with your power, it's to do with things that you love doing, it's to do with the progress and the process that it already started in your life, but now slowly and gently need to go on the next level. Because I will tell you what, by the time you get to the September and October 2022, your life is going to be on a completely different level in the best possible way. There is something so big and so beautiful and so gorgeous that you're going to be enjoying then and there, when it comes to like this stage and this period of your life. And this is why it's time to come out of yourself fully, my gorgeous Leonie, and go for things that you want to go for, do things that you want to do, and take this beautiful opportunity on the next level. Now it's time indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Virgo, my gorgeous Virgolini. You know what, my goodness, like, oh my lord, like, you are going to have probably one of the greatest recognitions of your life. You have been working very, very hard, you know, for this moment in time. You've been working very, very hard to achieve this aspect of your life in such an enlightened way, like how you are going to have. And especially when it comes to the 8th of June, 18th of June, and the 28th of June, these 3 dates are also gonna, you know, there's gonna be like really great news that you're going to have, but it's also what you're gonna see, what you're gonna come across. It's going to help you to come to terms with the part of your life that you've blamed yourself for over the last 2 years. So that doesn't matter. Things happen when they're meant to happen, but also at the same time, this blaming game, it's going to bring something like someone back into your mind. And this is absolutely this is such a good sign. Suddenly you're gonna feel like angry with someone, and this is like someone from your past, someone who did something to you negative, like someone who left a bit of a bitter taste in your mouth. It doesn't really matter, and I know it's easy for me to say, but try to forgive and forget to that person as much as you possibly can, because it's not about that person, how they feel. It's not about like what happened. No, baby, no. It is about karmic laws, and it is about our spirituality that we are talking about and focusing on right now. So you want to release yourself from this negative energy, and I know the universe works in mysterious ways, and this is it. This is the part of it that you need to kind of like really cut out. You need to cut the negative cord in between you and that situation in the past. And how you will know what that is, but it's just going to come to you that suddenly you're going to feel really angry from someone from your past, you know. But at the same time, this is your sign that you are the one who need to cut the cords with this and move on, because the sooner you do this, the sooner you're going to realize things that you need to realize at this moment in time. But the sooner you do this, the sooner you're going to be able to move on with your life as well. So this is why this is really important, my gorgeous Virgolinis, because you are going to release this negative energy. And it's also going to, you're going to do something so beautiful to yourself at the same time, because you are going to really beautifully manipulate these energies, you know, these universal energies in your favor. And that in itself is going to allow you to really kind of like make a huge step when it comes to your own spiritual journey, your own karma. But it's at the same time going to really open your eyes. It's going to help you to reconnect with yourself, but it's also going to help you to have this vision that you are going to have is just going to bring you the missing elements into your life, and that vision that you're going to have, that is going to be followed after that moment in time, it's also going to happen of course in June. But then again, it's just really going to surprise you how strongly you're going to feel. Like, it's not to do with a change of direction, but it's very strongly to do with you really also inspecting and exploring the parts of yourself that could be very, very successful, very big, very important, but they're like very successful in so many different ways. But also it's to do with your kind of unique essence. You're going to need to like realize what this is. It is a very important time for you to do it right now, my gorgeous Virgolinis, indeed. But going back what I said, like, you know, this is going to be the months when you're finally going to be recognized. The thing, you know, things that you have been working for, things that you have been working on, all that energy, all that hard work. And I'm saying, of course, that you could be retired, but then that could be like, you know, things that you have been working on, things that you wanted to achieve, you know, it's the same. Or you could be like, for example, looking for work. So maybe you looked for certain work for such a long time, but now, my gorgeous Virgolinis, you need to understand that the June is going to be a big mama. It is the recognition in that particular way, because you are going to get recognized by the people that you want to get recognized by, that you need to get recognized by. So this is why you need to take this on the next level. But beforehand, you need to recognize this. So this is why this is so important, my gorgeous Virgolinis. You need to understand this. It's what, like, you get this in so many different ways. The fact that you're actually going to be recognized, and this is going to lead towards your own success. It's going to lead towards your own financial security. It's going to lead towards you feeling so good about yourself. But also, most importantly, it's going to re-energize you. It's going to make you feel so optimistic. It's going to open your mind. But it's just the fact that you're going to feel so good about yourself, and I absolutely love it. Do you know what? That by the end of the month, you are going to have such an amazing, like, a stage coming up for you. By the end of the month, you're going to have such an incredible opportunity, and that opportunity is going to give you a mind-blowing chance to actually get to the moment in your life that you've been waiting for such a long time to get it. But now this is going to surprise you, because the spiritual shortcut is going to be absolutely everything. You're going to become aware of the spiritual shortcut that I'm talking about, and this is going to make you feel so good. It's going to be almost like, oh my Lord, I can see the actual celebration. I can see you wanting to celebrate. I can see you also like, oh my God, making and having one of the most beautiful times in your life when it comes to July and August 2022, because after that moment in time, after June, it's all going to be about this new direction, and it's all about going to be about this inspiration. This is about to change your life, my gorgeous Virgolini, but at the same time, you need to give a credit to yourself where the credit is due. Always, always, always remember that. And there is going to be quite unusual sign that you are going to have this month. And an unusual sign that you are going to have this month, it's going to be connected to some kind of animal. This animal is going to surprise you. In whichever way it happens, it's going to be an animal which is going to surprise you and scare you a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, the animal is going to do something and it's going to scare you a little bit. And then, at that moment in time, you're going to be like, oh my God. But what you need to remember, this is your sign. When you see that animal, this is your sign. This is a very powerful sign, and someone is going to come to your mind almost immediately, or it's going to be like a couple of minutes later. And that particular person that comes to your mind, you need to reconnect with, because you've lost the contact with that person. Okay, so I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but when the animals surprise you and you're like, oh my God, at that moment in time, energetically you will go somewhere else. You will dissolve somewhere else, and this dissolvement of energies, it's going to really make you really sensitive at that moment in time, and almost immediately someone is going to come to your mind, like John, Mark, whatever. Someone is going to come to your mind, you know, and then that particular person, and you're going to be surprised, like, oh my God, this is like a bit random, you know, someone just came to my mind. No, baby, no, it is someone that you have to reconnect with. This is a very special relationship, but it just needs a little bit of your own spiritual water. Not only this person is meant to be in your life, but then another thing about that person is, once you reconnect with that person, it's going to be very strong sign this for you, that person is about to tell you a little secret as well. Okay, pay attention, because this is going to be super, super important indeed. Okay, so before I do my gorgeous Libra, I'm just going to be 1 second, just 1 second. Okay. Hello, my gorgeous Libra, sorry. So now it's your turn. So this, my gorgeous Libra, is for you, and it's for June 2022. My Lord, you know, you're going to have such a moment, especially when it comes to the 17th, 18th, and the 19th of June. These 3 days are going to be the actual key days when it comes to you, because at this moment in time, you're going to have absolutely enough. You are really, before these 3 days happen, happen. You know, you're going to come across within the first week of June, you're going to come across the situation that it's really going to blow your mind in so many different ways. You're going to be looking at the situation on the outside, which has nothing to do with your life, but it is going to really get you thinking, you know, because you're going to become aware of something so important for the first time in your life by looking at other people and other people's situation. This in itself, it's really going to get you thinking, you know, and by the time, you know, you get to those 3 days, the 3 days that are completely crucial, this is the time when you're just gonna really wake up in the morning and there is a one specific thing that you are going to have on your mind. And this specific thing that you're gonna have on your mind is the exact readjustment that you need to make in your life. It's time to move on. It's time to make this readjustment, and it's time to no more kind of slow yourself down. Do not slow yourself down after this moment in time whatsoever. Your job, your spiritual job after this moment in time is just to think like very clearly, because I'm not saying that you can't think clearly, but you will see that this is going to sharpen you up. You know, it's going to sharpen your insight so much, because at the same time, by the time this 3 days finishes, there is going to be the vision, very important vision that you're going to have, and this vision is going to come to you in form of the actual inspiration, and inspiration is going to turn into something completely different, because the vision that you're going to have, it's going to be impossible for you to ignore. There is something that you're going to feel on such a high level, how your life is going to be, how your life you want to be, how you want your life to turn out. But also when it comes to like a color, you know, it's like a very colorful parts of your immediate future. You're going to be able to connect on a much higher angle, and this is going to give you this clear vision and clarity that I'm talking about. It's going to be impossible to ignore. You will know exactly what do you need to readjust in your life, what do you need to sacrifice at the same time. This in itself is going to start the process of your own rebirth, of your own regeneration, but at the same time it is going to lead towards you really making one of the most important decisions of your life. And that decision that you're gonna make, it's at the same time going to really surprise you where the strength is coming from, because it's going to happen at the time of uncertainty, and it's going to happen at the time when you're going to hear maybe like not something about your financial situation is not going to be as amazing as you thought at this moment in time, and that in itself it's maybe going to slow you down a little bit, because your financial situation, it's not going to allow you as such to get where you want to get at this moment in time, at this moment in your life, as quick as you want to get. But it's absolutely fine, because at the same time it's about the actual inspiration that you are going to have. This inspiration that you are going to have, it's all about your development, but also your own realization and understanding that where you want to get, it's going to take slightly longer, but you are on the right track, you are on the right journey. So it's all about knowing which actual readjustment you need to make, but this readjustment is like basically it's going to come in the form of the actual sacrifice. So like a very kind of important part of your life, you will kind of start realizing it's not as important anymore. There are other things that are kind of taking over in terms of the actual importance. So it's all about, paying attention to which kind of like things do you need to focus on when it comes to June in terms of priority, because priorities are going to start changing big time. But then at the same time, you are going to be dealing with some very strong people, very powerful people in terms of their own vibration. So you need to remember this, not to kind of let them to take over. This is strictly June, the time when you are going to start becoming awakened to your own dream. And once you start becoming awakened to your own dream, you see things that you didn't see before. You understand things that you didn't understand understand before, but not that you know exactly how things are going to turn out, but it's more about the actual knowing that, you know, it's entirely up to you, and it's entirely down to you how you're going to live this life, how you're going to look at things this life, and how sometimes out of bad things, you know, there is a very important, like, kind of like a lesson, if I can say, that we can learn. But at the same time, that lesson was necessary at that moment in time when it comes to our internal development. You are gonna really be surprised with the news that you are going to hear this month, my gorgeous Libra. And the news that you are going to hear this month, it's really kind of like to do with your plans, something that you just kind of been planning and waiting for a long time, and that it's going to be prolonged a little bit. But you must not let that put you off, because you are on the right path, you are doing the right things, and it's all about you coming out of yourself and just being brave enough to step towards like a little bit of uncertain direction which you're going to be facing over the last 11 days in June. The uncertain direction that you're going to be facing, you will be able to fully understand that this is something that you need to do, but at the same time you will know that it's going to like kind of some other things are going to be affected in your life. But then again, this is all to do with that change of priorities that I'm talking about, that I mentioned earlier, that is so important in this moment in time. I really like the opportunity that you are going to have this month, my gorgeous Libra. A really big opportunity, but also it's going to come with a little bit of a challenge. The opportunity that you're going to have, it's something is going to come to you just out of the blue for the first time in your life ever, this opportunity, and it's going to surprise you the way you're going to feel. But then again, at the same time, you just need to really understand that this is all the part of your internal development, and it's part of the actual your spiritual journey. So this is part of the challenge, that you will be facing this opportunity, but something is going to be putting you off, like it's going to take too long, it's going to take too long, it's going to take too long. No, it only seems like it. All you need to do is just get on it. All you need to do is just go for it. All you need to do is just like kind of like start thinking about it in an optimistic way, and you are already going to be halfway there indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Scorpio. My gorgeous Scorpione, this is for June 2022. You have no idea how important it is for you to talk this month. You have no idea how important it is to you to express yourself this month as much as you can. The universe is watching. The spirits are guiding you. Your guardian angels are guiding you. My Lord, pay attention to the actual signs that you are going to have on the 23rd of June and the 25th of June. The signs that you are going to have, they're really going to surprise you, and they're going to happen at the time when you least expect it. But at the same time, as soon as you become aware of these two signs, you know, you will know. It's like, oh my God, it's just like, you know, both of these signs are going to remind you of like a very, very special element, a very special part of your life that you need to take on the next level. Okay, you need to take on the next stage. Now it's time. And also at the same time, how you're going to take this on the next level. It's all about you having a very much so sharp communication, putting your foot down, expressing yourself throughout this month the way you want to express yourself, but also most importantly, do whatever it comes to you to do this month in terms of the actual exploration, because your exploration, because your spirits are going to be guiding you, your signs are going to be pushing you towards the very, very interesting stage of your life, which is going to become absolutely evident by the time you get to the 25th of June 2022. And that in itself is really going to require from you to be brave, but at the same time it's going to be required from you to jump into the unknown. If you don't jump into water, my gorgeous Scorpione, you're never going to learn how to swim. So now, most importantly, it's time to jump in the water yet again and learn how to swim, baby. Now it's time. It is important. On another hand, you know, it is just like a listen, like you are basically going to be challenged by certain people, and it's not only going to be once when it comes to this month, but it's going to happen like 2 or 3 times where you're going to be challenged completely. But you must stay true to yourself. You have to stay true to yourself. You don't want to like have a conversation with someone just because you want to please them. You respond the way you want to you respond the way they want you to respond. And sometimes there is a very, very thin line in between us and in between them, and in between the way we respond, in between the way we actually thinking that we are responding, and in between the way that we respond. And it normally comes with the people who are having a very heavy and difficult energy that brings the worst out of us in such a way where we just keep a very kind of important part of ourselves locked within. And you shouldn't be doing this. So just remember, my goodness, there is so much that you are going to unlock, you know. And two situations are pretty much so going to be connected to like with things that you're working on, trying to focus on, trying to achieve. But one situation is also going to be like an emotional, you know. You need to kind of like remove this emotional blockage in between you and somebody else. Like maybe you had a little bit of like an argument with someone, but you need to release that resentment. You need to let that go. Do you know why? Because it's all going to be karmically quite connected here indeed. So suddenly there is going to be someone on your mind as well this month, and it's going to be like, oh my god, that person is going to get on your nerves so much. Suddenly you're going to wonder like, why am I thinking about him, why am I thinking about her? But then this is a very clear sign from the universe as well at that moment in time. You know what, I forgive him, I forgive her, I forgive them. Whatever comes to you, whoever comes to you that you feel like very angry towards, please just remember this is a blessing for you at this moment in time, because the universe is about to give you the opportunity to actually grow, to release yourself. It doesn't matter what happened in between you and them. It doesn't matter what happened, but it's all about you releasing this huge, heavy amount of negative energy and moving on. Because that way you're going to do a huge step towards the actual towards you being you, a huge step towards you, like being very closely reconnected with your own calling. And this is all going to boil down to towards the end of the month. You are going to have a very strong reconnection with your own calling. You already know what your calling is. And this is something is going to shake you up, and it's going to remind you that this is the way to be. This is the way to go. This is the way to live your life. But if you don't know what is your spiritual calling, you know, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're just a young spirit. It doesn't really matter. If you don't know what your calling is just yet, trust me that by the end of this month, you are most certainly, and most importantly, you're going to really get to know a very interesting part of yourself where you will know what your calling is. This is going to be your strength, this is going to be your power, but it's also be one of the greatest reminders of your life, that this is the only way to live your life. Okay, by following your passion and by making the most of it, my gorgeous Scorpione. Indeed, this is very, very important. And also, you know, I really like this, you know, this inspiration at the end of the month. This is brilliant, and this inspiration also is just going to give you so many ideas. So why are you not going for it? Please don't slow yourself down. Go for this. There is some kind of inspiration that is just gonna, my God, it's gonna be so strong here when it comes to the last, like about 7 days of June. You know, this inspiration is gonna be making you it's gonna make you feel so much better about yourself. It's gonna make you feel like you can move your body in so many different directions when it comes to your own spirituality. And that is a very clear sign and very clear indication that you're holding yourself down and you're not making the most of it. You're not making the most out of life. So that inspiration is also going to bring you a mind-blowing spiritual key by the end of June 2022, because that same inspiration, it's slowly going to take over. And the sooner you realize like how powerful you are when you kind of go along with these things that come to you naturally, you know, the sooner you're going to find yourself on this absolutely mind-blowing spiritual plane. But because by the time you get to in November and December 2022, there's so many elements that are going to be added into your life, like a big huge elements that you could always like kind of dream of, you know, to happen as so early. You know, so quickly. So you will see, the sooner you realize the power of this inspiration, and the moment you take this on the next level, the sooner you're gonna get to a very, very important and interesting stage of your life. Okay. So now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Sagittarius, my beautiful Sagittarini. Oh my goodness. Listen, you need to be calm this month, and you need to be chilled out as much as you possibly can, because I think that you are going to be a little bit tested, you know, as someone is going to be challenging you this month, my gorgeous Sagittarini. So you're going to be tested a little bit, and I don't like this, you know, but you know, basically I do not like any arguments. I do not like confrontations, but that's just me, you know, like I'm not very confrontational and argumentative and all that, you know, but that's just me, you know, me talking. It doesn't matter what am I like. This is your reading. But, you know, it's just sometimes, of course, like you need to kind of learn how to put your points across without upsetting people, or you need to learn how to put your points across, but have a really big smile on your face, and how to put your point across without people even realizing that you're putting your points across. That's my favorite one, you know, how to put your points across without people even realizing that you're putting your points across, and then you put these people in a particular limbo where they should be, how they should be, like for example for this moment in time, because you don't want anyone to mess with your spiritual circle, with your vibration and things like that, you know. So it's all about you putting your foot down, but also realizing that it's not the answer. It's not like argue or like, oh no, like be negative. It's not the answer. Just you're gonna get the maximum effect out of this when you find yourself like being confronted, you know. You do everything what you possibly can in order to iron this out. Nice spiritual ironing out of this situation. So by you responding in the most beautiful, most intelligent, most eloquent way, you're gonna do so much. You're gonna have many gorgeous butterfly moments that you're gonna release at that moment in time, because karmically something beautiful is going to happen. Karmically something is going to start changing, and karmically you're about to get one of the biggest spiritual rewards out of it. So you see what I mean? So it's like, oh yeah, come at me baby, yeah, come at me come at me, come fight, yeah, you're gonna get no, I'm joking. No, it's like come and fight. No, but come and argue, and then you just respond in the best possible way, you know. If somebody's challenging, I'm not saying someone is going to be aggressive or anything, no baby, no. It's more like about a challenge, but you will know that you are right, and you will know that what you're thinking about, you know, you're thinking in the right way. And also, most importantly, it's about how you feel and how you're going to express yourself without having any negativity. Because it's not only about releasing hundreds of beautiful, gorgeous spiritual butterflies around you, but once they get back at you, it's gonna be absolutely amazing, because you know that is going to basically lead towards an amazing situation. Not that long after this argument, it's not really an argument, but like a challenge. Someone is going to challenge you, so you respond like this. You have a big smile on your face, you put your foot down, you be direct with your communication indeed, but try to not leave a bitter taste in the mouth of that person. So just try to to have a happy outcome. Try to maybe say things and smile and laugh about it, you know. Whatever you say, whatever you do, you will know what the right thing is, and that soon after that, within the next 7 days after that moment in time, there is going to be very interesting realization and very interesting clarity that you're going to have, and that clarity is going to really make you aware of something very specific that you need to explore. There is a very interesting part of your life that is still left unexplored, but it's been on your mind for so much. So why are you not doing it? Why are you not exploring it? This in itself, my gorgeous Sagittarini, is going to be highlighted at around the 27th of June 2022. So you must certainly, most importantly, you need to go for it. So it's about exploring this thing in order to make it happen. And how do you explore it? Well, it's going to come with a moment of learning more, reading more, reflection to learn more. It's going to even more make you in touch with yourself, but there are going to be all sorts of instances where you're going to find yourself so inspired with so many ideas. But this is only the beginning, my gorgeous Sagittarini. So this is what you need to understand, because that in itself is also going to bring you a really important accomplishment. And also, you know, something is just going to literally come to you where you are right now, what you're working on, what you're trying to achieve. There is going to be such an interesting idea that you are going to have to through someone in your life. An older, beautiful person is really going to inspire you. An older, beautiful, male, really wise person is going to inspire you so much. And that person has got like a really, such a beautiful and wonderful energy around them, about them. They're not only like amazing when it comes to like things that they're working and doing, when it comes to their life, but they're also absolutely incredible when it comes to their own spirituality. There is something big time that this person understands, and this person is in your life, and this person is going to inspire you, and this inspiration is going to bring you an accomplishment. Listen to me, the more you use this inspiration, the more you're going to become successful, the more you're going to understand, the more you're going to be aware of in your spiritual journey. I'm repeating this so many times, that people who are in our lives, they're meant to be in our lives. They're in our lives for a reason. Indeed, there is so much more to our connections. There is so much more to our relationship. We learn crucial things about ourselves at a crucial time of our lives, and it's also vice versa. They learn it from us as well. So this person is going to play in a specific role here. They will tell you, like, you know, and it's to do with what you're working on right now, what you're trying to achieve. They're going to point something out, but then also they're going to inspire you so much. That person is going to be directly responsible for one of the greatest accomplishments of your lives. So you should most certainly think, how can you kind of take that on? I know that you're going to come up with an important plan, and that in itself is going to work out absolutely perfectly. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Capricorn. My gorgeous Capricornians, this is for June 2022, and let me tell you something, you know, something is going to be absolutely just like a little bit upside down when it comes to like you maybe losing just a little bit of like not concentration, I suppose concentration, you know, it's about the ultimate change that you wanted to make. It's about something really big that you were planning to do. It's something really huge, enormous that you were really looking forward to, that is going to have a bit of a shaky momenty. Now the shaky momenty that I'm talking about is going to be absolutely evident, especially when it comes to like about 21st of June, I would say at around the 21st of June, or by the 21st of June, this is going to be evident. You must not lose your hope. You must not stop what you are doing. You must not ignore your dream. This life, this thing, it's not meant to be easy, and I think that that's became obvious, you know, within the last few years. There is a lot that became quite obvious, but then again, at the same time, you know, this life is not meant to be easy, and we are most certainly and most importantly faced with challenge, with a huge, massive challenge. I know you don't want more challenges, but we are faced with a huge challenge right a moment before something huge, enormous happens. Right moment before, we are also facing probably one of the most incredible stages of our lives, which we are not even aware of at that moment in time, what an impact on our lives this is going to make. But my Lord, this is just the beginning, and you have to trust me. At around the 21st of June, or by the 21st of June, you know, the part of your life that means to you so much in terms of like, oh, you knew you need to do this for an ultimate change, for example, it's going to become a little bit clicky. And the reason why is because beforehand you will be facing the situation that it's really going to put you off, and you're also going to hear something. You're going to hear certain things, and you're going to be facing the certain situation on the outside, but this is all going to be the part of the same circle, and it's going to affect you so much psychologically, subconsciously. I suppose I can say both things. You know, it's going to affect you so much psychologically, subconsciously, and spiritually, because it's going to get you wonder. But you must not let this to take the better of you. This is the challenge. You do not cut your life off. You do not kind of like adjust your life in the way that you don't want your life to be like, you know. Be really, really wise. This is the time to be wise, and this is the time to test yourself, because by the time that the end of June comes, you know, you are going to realize the greatest power that you have within, but you need to go over this blockage, and the blockage is going to make you to face something that means to you so much, like, oh, I can't do this anymore, I can't do this any longer. No, baby, no. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. You need to keep going at that moment in time, no matter what, because all what's going to happen after this moment in time time, it's the certain readjustment that is going to be required. Something else slowly came to an end. Something else you need to kind of really readjust in terms of the actual sacrifice at this moment in time. And that's all you need to do. Just keep going and see what you need to sacrifice in order to stay on the path that you want to stay, and make the most of it. Because I'm going to tell you something, by the time you get to the last 7 days of June, you're also going to be facing a very interesting tiny little opportunity. But this tiny little opportunity is going to be the biggest mama in the world by the time you get to the actual December 2022 and January 2023. January 2023 and December 2022 are gonna explode because of that tiny little opportunity. Just watch this space. This is going to be important. So this is your sign to be as open-minded as you can, to keep going, and do not do things that you don't want to do in this life. Don't kind of like really do things that maybe if you are misled a little bit by like a really heavy people in your life and things like that, or you are going through a very kind of sensitive part of your life at this moment in time, so you'll be more sensitive on these energies. Whatever it is, just use this as a blessing, literally. So it's just going to make you feel like it around the 21st of June or before the 21st of June. Oh, I can't do this anymore. And then just remember, no baby, no, these are the last door you need to go through. These are the last door that you need to knock on before you go forward. And this knock is going to be heavy. This knock is going to be difficult. The power of your mind is going to be needed to make this knock. It's the same if you're in an astral projection world. You are doing things, you're moving, you're touching things, but then your hand goes through things, because your spirit is doing this. But then with the power, alongside with the power of your mind, you can open the door handle. For example, if you are in astral projection world, been there many times, but with the power of your mind, you can just open the door, like when you kind of like get in touch with your own spirit, with these energies, but not just like without thinking. So this is why, not just without using the power of your mind. So this is, my gorgeous Capricornius, is the time when I need you to use the power of your mind. So remember that this blockage is going to be absolutely everything. The last bit of strength from you is needed. And you know why? Where this is all going to lead to? It's going to lead to accomplishment, financial accomplishment. It's going to lead towards your own financial stability. It's going to lead towards you living like some kind of luxury. It's going to lead towards you having so much more than you're having right now. I'm not saying that you're not having enough, but trust me, this is an integral part of your path, an integral part of your spiritual journey that you need to go through. You need to go forward like this. Very important, my gorgeous Capricornius, indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be having a message for, it's going to be my gorgeous Aquarius, my beautiful Aquamarini. So this is for June 2022. I'm so happy because you've been worrying so much. You've been like, there was so much on your mind, and June is about to change quite a lot. There is something really specific that you've been worrying about. There are two things specifically that you've been worrying about. One thing, it's a lot to do with the work and with the finances, how things going to turn out. And another thing that you were worrying about, it's also something about your emotions as well. And this took so much away from you, and especially when it comes to the last about 10 to 11 months, I can see you worrying about it quite a lot. I can see you thinking about it quite a lot, and I can see you also finding yourself in a very unusual limbo, where you kind of understand what you need to do, but you're not able to do what you want to do at this moment in time. You need to be clever, you need to be careful, and you need to remind yourself that sometimes, you must not rush with things whatsoever. Especially the first 11 days of June are going to be like that. What was on your mind? There are two specific things. So one is to do with emotions, and one is to do with a work, career, and finances, for example. So both of these things, what I really find really interesting is that when it comes to work and when it comes to finances, this month it's going to be absolute life changer. So if you were worrying about work, if you were worrying about finances, if you were looking for work, most certainly you should go and throw yourself into all sorts of opportunities, because the magical thing about June and you, my gorgeous Aquamarini, is the more you try new things, more you're gonna achieve and more you're gonna gain out of your life, and the more you're gonna realize about yourself. When it comes to 17th of June, when it comes to the 21st of June, and when it comes to the 25th of June, these 3 days are also, oh my god, these are key dates. Okay, these are very much so key dates when it comes to you, because also at the same time it's about the opportunities that these 3 days are bringing. Your life is literally about to change. And how is your life literally about to change, my gorgeous Aquamarini? Because a lot is going to be happening. A lot. This is going to be probably one of the busiest months you had in a long time, but in a good way. It's going to be busy when it comes to the actual people in your life, but it's also going to be busy when it comes to the actual work, when it comes to like being busy in general. Maybe you're retired, but then you're going to find yourself being busy and being all around the place. There is a lot that is going to reawaken within you, my gorgeous Aquamarini, when it comes to the actual June 2022. But at the same time, you know, it is all going to boil towards the very specific situations that are going to be that are going to happen. As I said, you don't need to worry about work and career and things like that whatsoever. Now it's time to put yourself in the center stage. Now it's time to put your foot down, to ground yourself, focus, and put yourself on the center stage. You need to understand that you are going to be watched throughout the months of June. I know this sounds horrible. Oh my god, I'm going to be watched. No, baby, no. This sounds like so horrible when I say, I know, like you're going to be watched. No. Your energy is going to be undeniable. Your energy is always strong. You're very charismatic, people. It's impossible not to notice you. It's impossible to forget Aquamarini. You know, your energy is undeniable. Your energy is very, very unique anyway. But what I need you to do when it comes to the actual month of June, my gorgeous Aquamarini, so you need to basically really kind of like do as much as you can. And you need to kind of like really test the water as much as you can. When I say testing the water as much as you can, it is like you know, you've fallen out with someone really important in your life, and not completely fallen out, but it's a very kind of bitter taste in between you and that person. You need to kind of like fix this. You need to kind of like there is still something that is not quite right, and I think that person who knows you really well is like an older person in your life, somebody very important, somebody very significant, but also at the same time you need to take care of that person. You need to help that person, because that person is being misled again. That person has got a bit of a dark forces around them, and they're kind of like maybe using that person who means to you so much. You see, I know, I'm again that person, this person, I hope this makes sense, you know. I know what am I saying, but so it's an older person in your life who is important to you, male person, powerful person. So first of all, you need to kind of like really work on some kind of like misunderstanding in between you two. But at the same time, you love this person. This person means to you so much, and that's why it's important for you to see there is something not right. They didn't understand you right, they got you wrong, but they're also really worried about certain element about yourself as well, and maybe you've just been both a little bit stubborn with each other, so you need to see what that is. And on another hand, when it comes to that person, this is someone who is important in your life, and someone is trying to take an advantage of them. They've been terribly misled, so you really need to see who this is and how you can help that person. That person needs your help. That person needs needs your energy. That person needs your protection. This is going to get back to you 1,000,000 times. But I'm not saying this so you can get something back, you know. No, I'm saying that, you know, this person means to you, and also that same person, it's going to play a huge role in your life within the next 3 or 4 months. This person is going to play an absolutely mind-blowing role, because there is something really incredible that you're going to get through that person who means to you so much. There is something really mind-blowing that you're going to get from them. They're going to surprise you. They will give you something. They will gift you something. They will give you something, and it's really going to surprise you in the best possible way. And I'm not saying this to, oh yeah, do this just because you're going to get something from them. No, baby, no. No. This person, you are very much so strongly emotionally connected, my gorgeous aquamarine, and this is why I'm saying this. Let alone fact that, you know, this same person is going to be responsible for something massive that you're going to get later on through that person, you know. So, you know, just I hope this is not too confusing, but it's really, really, really important. And also, my gorgeous aquamarines, you know, now it's time. Listen, this is so important. Something was on your mind. Please stay with me. Something was on your mind over the last few months. An idea. Some kind of idea was on your mind. You should go for it. You should do it. This idea seems something like really unusual and really quirky, but it's the right idea. This idea is going to be the beginning of something really incredible in your life, and it's going to bring so many elements that are missing right now. Please, my gorgeous aquamarine, this idea is going to help you to understand so much about yourself. I'm hearing something, sorry. This idea is going to help you to understand so much about yourself, because it's an integral part of your spiritual journey. Do you know what that is? You had this idea within the last 2 or 3 months. Something like kind of quirky, unusual, and you wanted to test the water a little bit, but then go for it. There is so much that you're going to understand about yourself by having that idea, and something very important is going to come out of you. Something very important is going to step out of you at this moment in time. Something big, and something which is literally going to change your life forever. Okay? So now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious Pisces. My gorgeous Piscelini, this is your June horoscope tarot card reading, what to pay attention to. So when it comes to you, my gorgeous Piscelini, it's just like, oh my goodness, you know, the first like about 11 days of June are going to be absolutely crucial. It's all about, you know, like you're going to find yourself thinking, and you're going to be drifting, and you're almost going to feel like a little bit negative, a little bit low, a little bit sad, a little bit down, and then you're going to feel even more down, more sad, more negative, and then suddenly something is going to come to you out of the blue within the first 11 days of June. Something is going to come out, something is going to come out of you, some kind of idea, some kind of idea is going to come to you completely out of the blue. It's going to happen within the first 11 days on the 11th day of June. On exactly 11th day of June, you will know what this is. And also when it comes to the 21st of June, this is going to be highlighted again, because somebody very close to it's actually going to tell you certain information, certain news, and they're going to mention something alongside that idea. You're going to be like, oh my God, I was thinking about this. You see, it's going to be confirmed to you again on the 21st of June. It is about the idea that is going to come to you, and that idea is going to, my God, going to make your life so much better, so much more colorful, so much more happier. It's going to help you to stand on your own feet, and it's also going to help you to ground yourself. It's going to help you to get a whole new sense of direction which you need at this moment in your life. That idea is going to reflect on you kind of like feeling so good about yourself, so proud of yourself, but also at the same time that same idea that you're going to have is just like basically going to be bring you accomplishment when it comes to finances, financial situation, financial stability, but it's also going to help you at this moment in your life to come out of yourself as much as you can, because you have been through a lot and you don't want to kind of repeat maybe some kind of certain mistakes, and I hate these mistakes, but you know what I mean. It's just like if you don't want to repeat certain mistakes, then that means that's actually quite good, because you have learned out of them what you wanted to learn at this moment in time. So it's only going to be to here for your own guidance. So this is going to be quite good, my gorgeous Piscelini. But then on another hand, you know, this is absolutely brilliant, and that idea is just like a basically it's all going to be about that idea, and then your desire. Then you're going to realize so much more about your own desires through that idea. So this idea was something that was missing in your life a big time, my gorgeous Pisces. This is absolutely remarkable. And you know why am I saying that this was missing in your life for such a long time? Because as soon as you kind of focus on that idea, there is so much that is going to start changing within you in terms of inspiration. It's not only about like, oh my God, an idea, but something is just going to feel so right. Something is going to inspire you because it's bringing you the whole new perspective into your life, but you will not be aware of that at that moment in time. And that idea, let me tell you, that idea, it's only going to be the beginning of, because that in itself, it's also marking the beginning of your own spiritual journey when it comes to an end. But also wherever there is an end, there is a beginning. So naturally you're going to find yourself on a spiritual quest. By the end of the month, you will feel like, oh yeah, I want more out of life. I'm bored with this, I'm bored with that. That's absolutely brilliant. And you know what's going to happen? It's all going to boil down towards this opportunity. It's all going to boil down towards this opportunity where you are going to need to explore things a little bit. But before you do that, naturally you're going to need to learn and read up a bit more. So this is all going to make sense. So the part of this process is going to be you learning and reading up a little bit more and connecting to yourself through your own knowledge and through gathering more knowledge and elevating yourself in this particular way. But then at the same time, so it's about the exploration through your own learning and finding out a bit more. And then I can see that you are going to find yourself like pretty much so on an absolutely mind-blowing spiritual quest. By the end of this month, you're going to have absolutely enough. You will want more out of life. You're going to become so negative about a certain aspects, and it's absolutely your full right to do so, because you know you can't keep on like maybe living the same life and doing the same things and expecting like a different outcome. So this is all about you coming out of yourself and realizing, you know what, now it's time to move on. Now it's time to like kind of like get more out of life. So don't be surprised if you get bored with so many different aspects in your life. This is only a sign. And you know also this is all going to boil down towards you really kind of focusing on that opportunity more and more and more. And you know what, that opportunity, these are only the beginning stages of. Just remember, it is as important for you to realize what do you need to explore, but also it is as important for you to realize that it is the learning experience and process that is going to be playing an important role, because something that is missing needs to come in terms of the knowledge that you can apply later to your life in terms of the actual your own activity, you know, physically. But then at the same time, you are going to start the progress and process here, the second stage of here, this opportunity, whether you believe this or not, please believe it, please do so. The second progress of this opportunity is going to happen in October 2022, and then when this is going to explode completely, it's going to be March and April 2023. March and April 2023, your life is going to be completely different. There is so much that is going to be around you. There's so many changes that you are going to have. You're going to be so much happier, so much more optimistic, because you did the right thing by taking this opportunity on, my gorgeous Pisces. And these are only the beginning stages. You have no idea how important this is. Okay, my gorgeous peopleini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous peopleini. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.